What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and Finner saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video, guys, I have several quite interesting news. First of all, I will show you quite weird activity from the Twitter accounts of some community members. And I will show you that we have some missing information that potentially might be just a conspiracy theory or my speculations. But one case is definitely much more interesting than the second one. On top of that, I will show you some details in regards to the Twitter activity again, and I will show you that some community members previously tried to switch the narrative of MMTLP community, of the investigation of MMTLP community, and I will show you quite interesting information that I promised you to show you yesterday. But this is very important to understand which path you should rely on. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And let's start again with this tweet that was written by George Parkers in response to the deleted tweet. And guys, I showed you this a couple of videos ago. The tweet was originally made by Trevor the Fisherman in regards to the application fee form for the to make basically the ticker symbol tradable, and we know that no one, as far as we know, no one paid these fees, and that is why, guys, we have to investigate who was standing behind the scenes, who made the MMTLP ticker tradable. And guys, on my yesterday's video I showed you that Trevor the Fisherman restored his Twitter account, but for now, guys, again, this account doesn't exist anymore. So, time will tell what is happening right here, but in my opinion, I don't think that it might be some kind of conspiracy theory, despite the fact that 2 videos or 3 videos ago I told you about this. On top of that, let me show you another tweet that was deleted, and at this time the tweet was deleted by Daniel, by your favorite SGM. And as you can see, on January the 10th, in response to Daniel's tweet, Dennis Neal wrote, "Guys, I'm happy to have interviewed John Burda on my pod, as well as Curtis, Junk Savage, and Tobacco, Due Diligence, Tom Basile, and other figures regarding MMTLP. That is what a journalist does. Yo, what's bugging me on Ricochet?" And he refers to the tweet that was written by Daniel, and Daniel asked for help to basically he tried to hire the person who might help with the public relations of his lawyer, of him basically, and who can spread the information about his litigation. And probably he found this person, and that is why, guys, he deleted his tweet, and we don't have any additional information from Daniel. But let's switch to more important news, and let me show you this. X-Market News just several hours ago wrote this: "Just in, the SEC admits that they are afraid of short squeezes." While advising the SEC, Dr. Robert J. Shapiro stated that the SEC admitted to being scared of short squeezes. Why would the SEC be scared of a short squeeze? Are they trying to protect the big player and hedge funds? And take a look at what Van Doe wrote in response to this tweet, as you can see right here. And as you can see, John Burda reposted it. So, Van Doe wrote, "Non-witness news special report. The SEC admits they are afraid of short squeezes." According to Dr. Robert J. Shapiro, while advising the SEC, he revealed that the SEC openly admitted their fear of short squeezes. But why? Is the SEC truly concerned about protecting markets, or are they more focused on shielding hedge funds and institutional players who are heavily exposed to these risky positions? A short squeeze isn't inherently illegal. It's simply the result of market forces driving up the price of a heavily shorted stock. But when retail investors band together, we've seen regulatory agencies act swiftly to protect the system. GME is one great example. And guys, let me remind you that GME back in 2021 had extremely high volume of basically short liquidations, and it was the first short squeeze that was made by retail investors. And during this period, Robinhood disabled the buy button for GME ticker symbol, and they violated a lot of rules and a lot of laws. But it was made, as we know, in favor of major market makers who had substantial losses during these days, and they were at the edge of bankruptcy. And even Swiss banks were involved in this saga, and even a Swiss bank who covered these hedge funds was also at the edge of bankruptcy because of the actions that was made by retail investors. And we know that it was started by Roaring Kitty, and unfortunately for now he is out of the game. So, let me quote you further. Why isn't the same urgency applied when retail investors face abuse from naked shorting, manipulative trading practices, and lack of transparency? The public deserves answers. Who exactly is the SEC trying to protect? Why do they fear free market forces of a short squeeze? It's time to demand accountability from our regulators. Tag your representatives and let them know that the market should protect all participants, not just big players. And guys, we have a lot of evidence of these illegal actions, but this call to action, I don't think that it might lead us anywhere. And let me show you why I think so. Let me show you this tweet that was written by Mark Basile on, let me show you, November the 1st of 2024. And yesterday I've read you this tweet that was written by Mark Deggins. It is another Twitter account of due diligence. And let me quote it you again, because it is very important to understand the main idea. That's a great idea, and okay, MMTLP family, that's exactly what I did. I just called a securities attorney that I'm close with, and even he said he's never seen anything like this before. He said he thinks the TRCH shorts would have no choice but to cover, but he's asking a couple of associates to look into it. I think they have to cover too. He was perplexed at this, and he said, this is very stimulating. He said he will let me know by Monday. I give you all my solemn wow that this is the truth. I will follow up Monday with whatever he tells me. He did say that the attorneys handling the S1 are some big fish, and that one of them represented Musk in his Twitter purchase. Again, I'm not gonna say what my position is, but I do wish luck to everybody. I will follow up. And guys, yesterday I didn't quote you this tweet that was written by Mark Basile. I double-checked it, and as far as I understand and as far as I found the information, this tweet is 100% correct, and I made my personal due diligence. That is why it was a delay for 24 hours to give you this information. So, Mark wrote on November the 1st of 2024, MMTLP. Everyone knows that FINRA instituted a U3 halt on trading MMTLP in December 9 of 2022, but no one has explained in any real detail why. Concerns or issues on settlement, pump and dump? Were they looking out for retail? Most MMTLP holders believe that FINRA was protecting its brokers, but there is still no direct proof of that. However, an interesting name popped up recently from one of the so-called community leaders. All posts indicating a security attorney I'm close with, named Mark Indeglia, was informed by this leader of the MMTLP short play in early November of 2022. I know Mark Indeglia, who happens to be a decent securities attorney. However, Mark, while he represented issuers, has in the last several years moved to also representing and advocating for hedge funds. So, this community leader who is close with Mark Indeglia discussed, notified whatever of his potential huge short squeeze a little more than a month before the U3 halt. Now, normally a conversation is just that, a conversation, but this host claims that Mark told him he would to go back and check with his associates, then he get back to him. It's all in his tweet. Here's what you don't know. Mark is also president of the Small Public Company Coalition, a trade association that was created by hedge funds for hedge funds. It basically looks like an NFP designed to solely lobby government for changes to rules that benefit hedge funds, not issuers or retail shareholders. In fact, the SPCC lobbied the SEC very hard to try to stop the proposed changes to the Rule 144, holding period on dilution funding practices, because the proposed rule change targeted those hedge funds that destroy retail shareholder value through death spiral toxin funding, something my firm has always fought against. Here's where it gets interesting. That mark is president of the SPCC. The SPCC is represented by a well-known and excellent white shoe DC law firm that has access to the SEC and which represents toxic dilution funding hedge funds. We don't know if any of the brokers or others are actually clients of that firm, but what we do know is that the firm does request meetings with the SEC in order to discuss proposed rule changes. Here's a real rabbit hole to explore. It's quite possible that this leader was either directly or indirectly responsible for the U3 halt by tipping off a securities lawyer with one of the largest lobbying firms that work for his organization, a firm that is currently in litigation with the SEC enforcement for its hedge fund clients in other issue of law. Then ask yourself, why his minions started to claim that I worked for hedge funds early on? Why he and they fought tooth and nail to have you avoid court at all costs, while bashing me and my clients personally and their efforts? Why he kept injecting himself into everyone's attempt to get answers and forcefully redirect sentiment and the narrative, especially away from lawsuits? Remember the John Doe's in the TradeStation case. It may go way beyond the brokers. Again, I know Mark and he's a good securities attorney. I don't have any issues with Mark. I do have issues about your community being manipulated, and through that manipulation, my clients being harassed. Considering the community likes to so-called explore things, you should consider exploring this. If you don't, that's absolutely your right to do so. These are just some facts backed up with evidence that available publicly, coincidental, innocent, and nothing burger. You decide. It's also quite coincidental that MMAT took considerable dilution funding before the U3 halt, that the stock seemed to have been pumped, as well as taking more dilution fund afterwards. Also, while you explore this, keep in mind that FINRA could not effectively or with any detail explain why they instituted the U3 halt. Did someone tip them off? As time goes by, there seems to be more questions than answers. Here's your straight point. And guys, I have to say that you might argue with this point of view, but last 24 hours I tried to make a deeper inside view on these facts, and to be honest, I found out that this information is 100% correct. I don't want to post any details about my due diligence. If you don't agree with this statement, just do your own due diligence, and believe me, you will find in a lot of public filings these facts that prove that Mark Basil is right. And that is why, guys, it basically raises even more question to the person who tries to stonewall all litigation processes. On top of that, guys, take a look right here. Samantha just yesterday wrote several tweets and she refers to the statements that were made by due diligence a year ago and basically just yesterday. So, on February the 3rd of last year, around 1 year ago, he said, "Congressional efforts have reached a fever pitch. We are on the verge of hearings and subpoenas. Trust in Greg, Drew." And just yesterday he wrote this: "Keep calling Congress. I'm not supposed to say. I'm offering support for when the something comes out, Drew." And she basically added this space call, a part of the space call. You can listen to this space call and make your own conclusion. On top of that, she also added this: "Clearly not all MMTLP investors were dissuaded by Karma Collects, by due diligence basically attempts to steer them away from legal." This is set of his statements. Don't go for it. Don't be fooled. Don't organize in secrecy. Check with Berta first. Trust John. Trust Greg. and my attorney will block class action lawsuits. And guys, I think we have a lot of evidence that the so-called congressional path to the resolution for now doesn't have any results, and in the foreseeable future I think we will not see any results at all, because yes, you might argue that for now we don't have any results from litigation path as well, but we had and we still have multiple litigations that are trying to break this wall, the wall of wrongdoers, basically the firewall of wrongdoers who prevent us to see the resolution. And we have multiple attempts, and we are still trying to break this wall. But at the same time, guys, the non-litigation, so-called non-litigation path is moving around because they are still knocking to the doors of Congress members, and they are still trying to explain the current status of our saga. But at the same time, guys, do you remember that 75 members of Congress signed a letter that was originally written by Ralph Norman and his office, and it was 16 questions in this letter? And did you ask any of these 75 members of Congress why he stopped to push our case forward? If so, what is the answer? And if we don't have any answer and we know directly who signed this letter, why you should still rely on this path? In my opinion, it doesn't make sense. And guys, I have to admit that at the same time we have very, very powerful people inside our community. I mean retail community in general, and MMTLP community in particular. And let me show you one example. Pulti just a couple of days ago published this tweet with the video and basically he wrote, "We gave away a free car to a veteran." And here you can see this video, and let me quote you a post of 100 MPH that was reposted by Junk Savvy. 100 MPH wrote, "This is really awesome. Please also consider Lieutenant Colonel Alan Bradshaw. He has many common interests and important history that may serve the nation well as we move forward in restoring our republic. DJT MMTLP." And he added several screenshots of Lieutenant Colonel Alan Bradshaw, and he even added the link to his LinkedIn account, and he served with honor. Let me show you his experience. And he basically was a pilot of Marine One. You can find his picture right here. Wait a second, here he is, and he was a pilot for Marine One for 2 presidents. Let me show you this tweet that was written by Junk Savvy back in July the 2nd of 2024. "Join us, Lieutenant Colonel Bradshaw piloted Marine One for 2 presidents. He's an MMTLP investor and here to share his story." And he was the pilot for Ronald Reagan and George Bush Sr. And guys, these type of people are members of MMTLP community, and I think, guys, we have to see the resolution in order to help not only ourselves but to help veterans to receive their hard-earned money. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God